Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the best mods of the week in Baldur's Gate 3's mod manager. And yes, you are looking at Baldur's Gate 3 right now. Lots of great stuff for photo mode. We also got some early access content restored for Shadowheart. The Book of Rogues 5th edition Rogue Subclasses by IncogneatoBurrito is here, and Compatibility, which is a huge thing that I was using from Nexus mods previously, now available in the in-game mod manager. And now that we can use more than one photo mode mod at a time, we can actually download multiple of them. There's 6 new ones this week with some very, very good ones, which you're literally watching right now. That's a high quality level that we got this week. We got multiple entries of Sera's silly Cauldron of Delulu poses by Seraphine here. We also got their sitting animations and the dancing ones here. The dance is highly worth downloading, so funny. We also got Chase and Cherries by Leonore But Sad, JoJo's Bizarre Poses Volume 1 by Barry Semifredo, 3 Wise Monkey poses, and an outfit mod as well. There's a lot more mods, but I'm just going to dive in right at the start here with the really Shadowheart early access content by Whack-A-Mole Jack and Rogan80. This is an expansion to the really Shadowheart mod. I get comments every single day about this mod. It's an expansion to Shadowheart's romance. This adds in some early access content. This has a ton of changes, but you can explore that if you're interested. This is just some more content for Shadowheart enjoyers. Now, I'm curious, who is winning this dance battle? My vote is for Shadowheart. She's busting it down there. But yeah, Gale is also putting in some work. Now, personally, I am stoked that the 5th edition Rogue subclass are now available in Baldur's Gate 3. This mod made by IncogneatoBurrito is fantastic. The icons made by Sumer Dagnoth are also really cool. So we got the Inquisitive, Mastermind, Phantom, Scout, and Soul Knife Rogue subclasses. Now, I yesterday did a video on their Sorcerer, Book of Sorcerer mods. I'll be covering this one as well. One thing I want to mention is that their mod.io page actually lists out every single feature of this class very well. So if you're interested in looking a bit more in detail on these classes, you can check that out there. They have full level 20 support, which I think works very well. Your sneak attacks hit extremely hard at level 20. So I guess just to quickly break down these subclasses, the Inquisitive's great outside of combat. It gets bonuses to perception checks, and as well they get at level 17 the ability to apply an additional 3d6 onto their sneak attacks. Kind of nice. The Mastermind is kind of a support. You can set up your teammates to get an advantage on their attacks as well as misdirect attacks, and you can also get benefits to deception and performance. Now, the Phantom Rogue is good at like area of effect damage, so they're good at spreading high damage in an area. You get the Whispers of the Dead and Wails from the Grave. When you do sneak attacks, you can do another attack at a target within 9 meters. The Scout has probably the most movement speed out of any class in D&D, and with the Scout, you also get a special bonus action attack you can do. You can sneak attack one target and then do a half sneak attack on another target as bonus action. It's pretty interesting. And the very popular Soul Knife, you can throw a knife and it'll actually let you teleport. It kind of feels like Minato from Naruto. It's a very versatile one and popular for a good reason. But yeah, stay tuned for a future breakdown of this incredible mod. Now, this is huge. The compatibility patch for photo mode pose mods by Catastrophical Cat is massive. So previously, you had to download a mod off of Nexus mods if you wanted to use more than one pose at a time because they would only override each other. So now we can use as many as we want, and there's a lot of really good ones, I'll be honest, out there. Between Nexus mods and Mod.io is getting a ton of fantastic ones. Most notably this week offered so many, so this is huge. Thank you, Catastrophical Cat, for this. And now one thing to note is that if you add new photo mode mods after you installed this mod, you want to disable and then re-enable this mod to kind of resync the load order, I think it is, because previously with the Nexus mods, you used to have to put that at the very bottom of your load order below all the other photo mode mods. So if you download any from Mod.io, you have to like go in and sort it out. So this is really nice. We also got the silly Cauldron of poses. Now, there's a lot of poses here, like so many. I guess I'll also mention the sitting animations mod, the Sera's silly Cauldron of Delulu sitting and the silly Cauldron of Delulu dancing. Now, what's great about this is it has a bunch of dance moves you may recognize. Crazy in Love, Toxic, Don't Ya, Oops, I Did It Again, Graceful Shuffle Hip Hop there, Shake It Off, Cherry Lady. Yeah, there's a lot of great ones. My favorite dance is the Shuffle Hip Hop. I just think this one is so funny to see. But you can get real creative. Like this is a sitting animations one. There's a bunch of different ways you can pose your characters in different situations. I have a lot of photo mode mods. I was going to do a in-depth photo mode mod last week, but I waited. I'm glad I did because there's so many more to cover here. You also got the Chase and Cherries here by Leonore But Sad. And I'm not entirely sure. Like I have so many photo mode mods and they keep shuffling around and going in different orders. So I'm not entirely sure which are which. I know that these poses are part of it, but yeah, there's a lot of different poses here. It's been an incredible week for photo mode. Now, I previously covered the JoJo's Bizarre Poses in a video. Some people actually noticed that I use this. Very much like it. I love the animations. Your character will go into different poses. But the unfortunate thing is this doesn't work with the photo mode extended, so I currently can't get it to appear here. I'm really sad about it because I've been turning on and off mods trying to get it to appear, but I have a bunch of them installed, unfortunately. But I'll likely be covering this in a future video. There's just so many really good poses. If you're a fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, highly recommend downloading this. There's also a weapon reference in base game Baldur's Gate 3. The Sethan Great Axe is a JoJo's reference, made by Barry Semifredo. Incredible mod as well. And we got the 3 Wise Monkeys poses. Unfortunately, this one is also not appearing for me right now. It's not included in the photo mode patch. There is other photo mode patches. I have some of them installed. And actually, Baldur's Gate 3 wouldn't download certain ones if I had other photo mode patches installed. It's kind of weird, but we got those other ones working here. But yeah, 3 Wise Monkeys poses. Maybe we'll see in the future, maybe an update so that we can have multiple photo mode poses at a time, because they did open up the toolkit to allow for that. And next we got the Dragon of Dojima Set by Skirby here. This is for body types 1 and 2. Now, yeah, this is referencing a very popular franchise, and I like it. It's very cool. I think this is a interesting outfit. And then we got Gale's version here too. So really nice. I love the white suit jacket, red undershirt, and yeah, love Yakuza. Very cool. And actually, the Yakuza games are really great turn-based games. If you enjoy Baldur's Gate 3, you might even actually like them as well. Next up, we got the Sword of Athal'Kir, the Wind Walker by Orin 1985. And first off, I gotta say, these blades look amazing. Now, I do have a lighting mod on currently, so that's why things are looking a little bit brighter, but these swords do glow even without that mod. My lighting mod just making this a lot brighter, but you do get progressive abilities with these, so you can see here all these different wind-based spells. I really like these because if you don't like them, just remove them from your skill bar, that's fine. But if you don't, or if you do want to use them, you can actually add this to like a champion fighter or something like that and come up with like a wind knight or something. Yeah, you got a lot of versatility when it comes to using different weapons like this, and I think that these look cool. I'm sure this is a reference to something, I just don't know this reference. Or it could be a completely new weapon, because this is actually made for the Elder class mod here, which I've covered previously, and I actually did a build on the Windwalker. This weapon is meant for that subclass. So yeah, really cool stuff. Now, next up, we got the Cloak of Grave Magic. Now, this is a passive feature that is in the game. The Absolute Night Necromancers and Balthasar get it. It'll basically give you a passive feature whenever you deal damage with a spell. It'll deal an additional 1d8 of necrotic damage. I think this is nice. It's utilizing something that's in the base game itself and bringing it back for players to enjoy. So I'm a huge fan of things like this. This mod is made by Gamer Beige. We also got the female planar ally here by Wala Siuk. Now, unfortunately, this mod didn't end up working for me, so I can't showcase it here, but it does change the characters over into these appearances. I just have a lot of mods, unfortunately, installed. Now, we also got ourselves the Simple Weapon Damage feat, Toggleable here by Space Healthcare. This is a really cool one. It's a feat that's not really busted, but it opens up build variety, and I think that that is really cool. So this allows you to add an additional damage type onto your attacks, and you can choose any element you want. So if you want to add acid damage and use like noxious fumes, you can do that. If you want to add radiant damage and go radiating orbs, you can do it. Lightning charges, you name it. Really cool for opening up different types of builds. And they also did a version of this for the monk. So if you wanted to do like an ice punching build, you can add the cold damage and then use certain gear like the snowburst string to make ice surfaces below the enemies. Another mod by Space Healthcare. I think these are really cool. Nothing broken. Like a 1d4 isn't anything too powerful because you're sacrificing a feat selection to use this. So I think this is really cool. We also got the Heroes of Faerun spells by the Real Zir here. So all cleric, wizard, and druid spells are added to magical secrets for the Bard's level 6 spell list. And we get added these spells to the specific classes. So there's Spellfire Flare, which adds a radiant 2d10 damage, gives this to the sorcerer and the wizard, and you can upcast this to hit in multiple areas. And you make separate attacks for each blast. There's also Backlash at level 4, Abjuration spell for the Bard, Sorcerer, and Wizard. You ward yourself against destructive energy, reducing the damage taken by 46 plus spellcasting modifier. And if triggering the damage from a creature within range, you make the creature do a Constitution saving throw, or they take 46 of force damage. And then we also have the Cacophonic Shield here, which allows or gives you thunderous reverberations, which if the enemy ends their turn on that spot that you select, they'll take a 3d6 of thunder damage. And if they save, they only take half damage. And when you use this, you get resistance to thunder damage. So pretty cool stuff. I love the new spell mod, so that's great. We also got ourselves the Way of the Shadow Enhanced here by Storm Cancer here, which makes it the Way of the Shadow Monk a little bit more powerful in certain ways. Like you get some cool abilities like Dark Whip, which is like Water Whip, but only pulls. You get the Dark Pouch here, which is a mini version of Darkness, but costs 1 key point, 1 reaction. It's not a concentration. It's really good, kind of like the Arrows of Darkness. And you get the ability to see in magical darkness because they changed the dark vision to mimic how Devil Sight works. This is really cool because I love the Shadow Monk, but it's a good class, but the open hand does outclass it in a lot of different ways, in all honesty. So this balances things, making it a little bit more powerful. Now we also got ourselves the Barry's Heads Volume 1 by Barry Semifreddo. So with this mod, on Body Type 1, we get a couple different choices here, and I guess here's the this is on Body Type 4. Unfortunately, or Body Type 4. Unfortunately, there's no hirelings as Body Type 2, so you can't change their faces. Yeah, this is how the faces look. I think there was a bit of an issue with my drow character, half drow character there, but yeah, these faces look pretty solid. I'll just show the pictures they got because they do it justice. So yeah, that's what the faces look like there. And they're using actually some similar hair mods to the ones I'm using in videos. Mickey's hair. Yeah, looks pretty cool. I definitely recommend checking out other Barry Semifreddo mods. Like I do cover their mods in some different videos. They have a lot of really nice outfits and different circlets and things like that. So yeah, that's the Barry's Heads Volume 1. And we also got ourselves the Trinkets of Phlegethos, and this adds some items into the game that give you a reward, but also have a downside to them. This mod is made by Unique Vessel. Also highly recommend checking out their Anvil class mod. It is really cool. So with this, like there's a ring that gives you 3 charisma, 2 spell save DC, and advantage on all attack rolls. But when you get hit, there's a 1% chance that a level 10 boss beholder will spawn. There's also ones that gives you access to a special chain lightning and makes you also trigger wild magic surges. There's a ring that will give you Devil Sight, letting you see in darkness, but there is a 5% chance that there'll be a cloud that actually will blind you. And there's a ring that turns you really big and gets a bonus to melee attacks, but if you miss an attack, you turn really small and lose armor class. And right now there is 21 different rings that are listed here, and this is where you can buy them. Really cool mod. I think this is fun. I love whenever there's like a risk-reward method going on. And one last mod here, we got the Dark Fae by Gabe Kamamescro. This is just a mod that they made for themselves, but they wanted to share. And I think that's really awesome because sometimes you just make mods for things that you want to make. And this is a great example of this. It adds in 2 different races into the game, which do have a bit of different effects here. And yeah, you can check this out if you're curious. So yeah, what an incredible week in mods. Let me know your favorite in the comments below. I hope you have a great day, and we'll catch you all in the next video. Subscribe for more.